Hi guys, welcome back to Dadlicious Eats, and today I wanted to take you through my recipe for the most delicious crispy lemon chicken that you will ever have. So without further ado, let's have a look at the ingredients. So here we have just over half a kilo of chicken thighs, vegetable oil for frying, we've got chili, some ginger, some chicken stock, 2 eggs, spring onions, some garlic, soy sauce, some honey, lemons, Chinese rice wine, and corn flour. Right, let's get cracking. So first of all, we're going to cut up our chicken thighs. So we're going to cut these into nice small bite-sized pieces. I always use chicken thighs because I find it has a lot more flavour. Also, you'll find that it's a lot cheaper as well. So you could buy them bone on, with skin on, but I tend to just buy boneless and skinless chicken thighs. So this recipe is going to feed a family of 4. Definitely if you have it with some rice on the side or something else, then this will easily feed a family. It's also far cheaper than buying from a Chinese takeaway, so you can make this whole dish probably for about £6-7. There we go, almost done. Finish up with the last thigh, and then we are going to add the marinade to them. Right, so for the marinade we're going to start off with some soy sauce. So 4 tablespoons of soy sauce should do us. Following that we have Chinese rice wine, so 2 tablespoons of that. You should be able to find it in a fairly big supermarket. If not, there are plenty of Asian shops, they will always stock it. It's fairly common to find these days. So after that, we're going to add in a couple of eggs. And then once those are in, get your hands in there, get stuck in, give it a really good mix around, make sure all of the chicken is coated with all of the marinade. Now you only need to leave this probably for maybe 15 minutes or so. It doesn't need to be left overnight in the fridge. It's just something. Start off the recipe with this, and by the time you have made up everything else, you're good to go. So we're now going to move on to the sauce. So again, we're adding soy sauce in. So we've got 4 tablespoons of soy sauce again. Next up is the stock. So I use chicken powder for this. This is from the Asian supermarket. If you want, you could use an OXO cube. So it's really up to you, but I find this gives a really good depth of flavour. And then add in a mug of water. Right, next up are the lemons. So first of all, we're going to grate the zest of a couple of these lemons. So this is what will give it a really good tang. And then we're going to cut them in half and add in the juice of all 3 of these lemons. So try to make sure that you don't get any pips in. If you do, it's not the end of the world. Just try not to eat them at the end. Adjust the amount of lemons in depending on how tolerant you are of the lemon flavour. You could also add oranges or orange juice instead, which would give it a bit more of probably a sweeter orangey taste. So it would work equally well. And then for the rest of the sauce, we're going to start off with chilies. So this is just a jalapeno that my mother gave me, that she grew in the greenhouse. It's got a little bit of a kick. If you're not particularly tolerant of spice, then just put in less. Maybe don't put the seeds in if you don't want it particularly spicy. You could also leave it out if you prefer. and then ginger. So you probably want about an inch worth of ginger root in there. So cut this up really finely into matchsticks. If you're enjoying this video, I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button. And then ginger, I say the more the better, but you probably want at least 4 or 5 cloves of garlic in here. So peel them, which can always be a bit of a monotonous task, and then either grate them if you've got a small cheese grater, or you could just cut them up, crush them with the back of your knife and cut them up really finely. Personally, I prefer to have them crushed and cut up because then you get a bit more of a texture in the sauce itself, rather than the garlic just dissipating into the rest of the sauce. Now that that's done, it's time to start cooking. So first of all, heat up the oil in the pan. It should be nice and hot, so as soon as you pop your chicken in, it starts bubbling straight away. What you don't want to do is overload the pan with too much chicken, as that can reduce the temperature of the oil, so it stops it making it quite so crispy. Once you pop the chicken in there, leave it for a couple of minutes to fry on one side, and then what you want to do is flip it over so that it cooks right through to the other side. In total, it's probably going to take about 6 to 7 minutes or so. And the best way to cook this is in a couple of batches. So as I said at the start, don't try and force it all into the pan at once. So whilst the chicken is cooking, it's time to make the rest of the sauce. So what you're going to do is add in the garlic, the ginger and the chili into a pan that's got a little bit of oil in. So you want to cook that through a little bit until it's fragrant. After a couple of minutes, we're going to pour in the sauce that we made a little bit earlier on in the video. We'll give that a stir and bring that up to temperature. And then you want to add in a little bit of corn flour. So a couple of tablespoons of corn flour should do. And what that does is it starts to thicken up the sauce, because without that you'll get a very, very runny sauce over the chicken. But actually what you want to do is have it so it clings onto the sauce. As you can see, whisking it here, it's starting to get thicker and thicker. And then we're going to add in a couple of tablespoons of honey. So as with the lemon earlier, if you would like to make it sweeter, you can add in a little bit more. If you want to make it less sweet, add a little bit less. Overall, it should take about 5 minutes to get to that consistency. So to finish this off, we're going to put the chicken in a bowl, pour over the sauce, give that a little bit of a mix around so all of your chicken is coated. And then we're going to serve that on a plate. This is looking delicious already, but what we're going to do is add a couple of finishing touches. So first of all, we're going to add on some sesame seeds and then some cut up spring onions just to finish it off. And there we go, crispy lemon chicken done. Absolutely delicious. You've got to give this one a try. So that's it, end of the video. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, pop a comment below, let me know how your cook went. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, goodbye.